Morning. Today, I really want to talk about the climb, continuing to climb. I've talked about it over probably the last year and a half about the climb, about pushing yourself, about becoming who you really want to be, taking chances, um, chasing your dreams, right? And I've talked about how the peaks, the valleys, all go into that. And like I've had an experience right yesterday, this week, about the fight, like the part of the climb that is very difficult, like the time that you want to turn around, the time that you want to kind of quit, right? Because it gets a little tough. And I don't really want to say quitting. I don't really want to say that, we're giving up. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes it becomes exhausting. Sometimes um, it's just a drastic change in your life, and you have to push through. But you also have to kind of strengthen yourself, kind of build yourself up for the final steps because you don't want to give up. You don't want to turn around, right? Quitting is when you turn around. Quitting is when you give up, and the experience I had, which was really, fun. Obviously, I'm out here for combine and pro day and draft prep. And it's been an experience, right? Leaving behind a life that I've only known for 15 years. It's been different, not difficult, but different because it's different hours, it's different opportunities. When you're used to waking up a certain day, having certain structure to yourself, and then your day's over and you get to go to the house, wind down, and then you start the same thing over. It becomes mundane. And you do that for so long, that becomes your life. And you think that's all you have. You think that's all you know. And it's not true. Sometimes life throws you a curveball. And like myself, you're not prepared for it, but you're ready and willing. And you just figure it out along the way. And that's what I've been doing. It's been amazing. But it's had its bumps, its bruises. Yesterday, we decided to actually make the climb to the Hollywood sign, which is, when people tell you this, right? When they tell you, when you see it, you understand it's, kind of high up. I do not know how many feet up in the air it is. Anyone who's known me know that I rarely if ever fly until this year. I've probably flown more times in January and February than I did my entire life. That's the truth. And I never thought it was because of heights. I just thought I was, scared of flying. But it's definitely because of heights. So we get to the Hollywood sign. We never made it. Let's go ahead and say that. We could have, but I had to stop, right? Because of anxiety, because of fear, you can say, um, because of being worried. Like that was probably one of the first times in my life, like I've really experienced asking myself, did I want to continue? Like I've always been the type of person that's like, hey, just do it, get it done. And no one tells you that the climb is probably 60 minutes. Like it's a steep climb. And so like at first you get there and you're with someone and it's all the adrenaline is flowing, right? And you're like, oh, I'm good. One, I was not prepared for it. We drove up, we get out the car. I'm in basic Nikes. They have some type of grip on the bottom, but not for a climb of this magnitude, right? And so pictures don't do it justice. It was fun. It was amazing. We start the climb first. You have the incline, like the road that you got to walk up, and so that does a number on your legs right there. And then you start to kind of wind up, like the rocks, the dirt. Um, the part that really gets you is if you're walking up and you look to your right, it's just a fall. Like, and that's what kind of got me. And it's kind of like life, right? When you're chasing your dreams, like it's no return, right? It's scary sometimes because you don't know what's going to happen. And as I'm climbing and you're pursuing your dreams, right? It all you see is the tunnel vision. And that's what you have to focus on. My issue was I looked down. Like if I'd have never looked down, I'd have probably been okay, right? To an extent. Like we probably got about halfway, about 32, 33 minutes. And then you realize I've walked up a mountain for 33 minutes. Like you really don't understand it until like I had my watch and my Apple Watch, and so I kind of started it a little late. So maybe it was about 40 minutes. Um, and I've never like this is true. I grew up in New Orleans. Like we ain't got mountains. Like we might have a little incline, a street. Like we might have a little hill, but we don't have mountains. We don't have rocks that you have to grab. Um, and we were with another couple who was kind of ahead of. We didn't know them, but I think it's best, right, that you go with someone or you follow, you tag along, you follow, behind someone just for safety reasons. But like when you start climbing, it's nothing. Like you sweat a little, right? Probably 20 minutes into it, you probably drench. And again, if you know me, I have just like right now, I have a hoodie on, I have a shirt, I have an undershirt. Um, these glasses were fogging up. Like it was a lot, but it's essentially how life is, right? When you're pursuing something, all the distractions that I always talk about, and you kind of push through. The first 10 minutes are okay. The next 10 minutes are, a little difficult because your mind starts to play tricks on you. And the second you look down, you see to your right again is bushes, but those bushes aren't stopping you. Like, I'm serious. If you slip, that's it. Like, and that type of thing like goes to your head, right? Like, hey, your mind starts to play tricks on you, um, because you're pursuing something that you've never done, and it gets scary. And so your whole thought process, man, I don't, this can't be my time. This is foolish. Why am I doing this? And it's the same thing as you pursuing your dreams. Like everyone around you is going to tell you, like, don't do that. Nobody's ever done that. You've never done it. Why are you doing it? Nobody in your family has ever done that. Just be who you've been, right? Why are you pursuing that? And it's the same thing. But I didn't look at it as I quit. I looked at it from a situation that I'll get another chance. I'm going to conquer it. I'm going to climb to the top. Uh, it just wasn't really important to me to get to the Hollywood side. And then as I'm walking, right, the people in front of us take a break. Now these are experienced hikers, and they take a break. And so in taking a break, um, they kind of mentioned the wisdom tree, which I had no idea about this. And so the wisdom tree was something I would shoot for more than shooting for the Hollywood sign. Like that's irrelevant to me, to be honest with you, right? We started it because we saw the Hollywood sign, but like that's not something I'm willing to pursue. That's the truth. And so it becomes taxing on you when you're not really pursuing something you're interested in. Like you start to figure out in your head, right? I really don't want to do this. Like, why am I doing this? Like that's irrelevant to me, right? And so once we get to about the halfway point, they stop. They have water. I didn't have water. And so then my mind, right, is like, hey, I think I'm gonna turn around. And the individual I'm with is like, you sure? And I'm like, you want to keep going? And he wants to keep going. Like he's extremely, gifted athlete. Like that's nothing for him to make this climb. But in my mind, it's now full blown doubt, right? It's, I'm not gonna make it. You shouldn't do this. This is dangerous. Turn back around. Um, and then they kind of say about the wisdom tree. And it's like, oh, but at this point, I'm 90% done. Like for me to push forward, I'd have to, dig extremely deep. Again, it's the same thing. But part of it was when I started the journey, I was pursuing something I wasn't interested in. And like the Hollywood sign is cool to know, but I'm going to go 65 minutes up a steep climb. That's, probably dangerous, right? For what, a picture? Now, if I would have had a different focus, if I'd had a different something that I was chasing, right? Like if they told me at the bottom that, hey, there's an amazing tree that people call the wisdom tree, that's at the top, and it's, at the very top, like that's a different motivation for me, because wisdom is very important to me. Not saying that, hey, this tree is some magical tree, but that's a different pursuit for me. And my mind would have looked at it different. If I'd have been at the bottom and knew, hey, it takes 63 minutes, and I set my clock for 63 minutes, I set my time, I set my watch, my mind is set on that. But that's not how it works. That's not how that's not how life works. Life is going to, in the middle of it, right at the middle of the walk, of the climb, is when it hits you. That's when it gets tough, right? Because you're halfway there. Your mind is now playing into this. Your body's listening to your mind, and then your body starts to shut down. This is the crazy part, right? If I went 30 minutes and I was at halfway, the next 30 minutes I'm at the top. But if I go back down, I still go 30 minutes. So I still did the 60 minutes. Now, granted, if I get to the top, I got 60 down. But the 60 down is full of gratitude. The 60 downward is full of successful thoughts that I did it, right? I completed the task. So the downward climb is not the same. But when you go halfway, I realized the downward climb is full of unbelief. It's full of ridicule. It's you beat yourself up, and you're like I could have did it. Was it possible? And you got to turn that into something different. You got to turn it into a fuel. You can't look at yourself as a failure. Like, because guess what? I didn't die. Nothing happened to me. I learned something. It was a lesson. And so now I know what I need. Now I know the equipment I need. Now I know I need water. I need to, less clothing, right? Now I can know what to prepare for. And so that lesson is, again, just like life about the climb. You got to continue to climb. Formulate a plan. Like, just maybe the first time you pursue your dream, it didn't work out, as you was winging it. And now you understand what is next. You understand what you're capable of, and and then you formulate a plan. And it's like, okay, I got to do this, 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 this. And you hit milestones that continue to push you. Like, this experience yesterday is not an experience of failure. It was a lesson. It was me understanding my limits and how I can push them, because it's possible. Like, I got to the middle point, and when I get all the way to the bottom, then I realized, like, I was nothing for real. Like, I was in my own head. Like, and the athlete, right, like, when you're trained to never understand failure, when you're trained to allow your physical body to take over, right, and your mindset is that, like, I'm the best in the world, or this is nothing to me, like, you never have that doubt. But see, when you're not trained, when you're not prepared, when you don't put in the work that you should, right, you're going to get to a moment where it's like, oh, this is tough. Like, and then when you get to the bottom, you're like, well, why did I do that? I could have finished. And then you try to ration, oh, well, I got, this, and we got dinner at this time. Yeah, nah, that doesn't matter. Like, it could have been done. And I'm not upset at myself. I'm proud that I got to that point, right? Because it made me realize the whole situation of why I don't fly. Like, it's high up. But now it encourages me that I need to finish it. Like, that's going to get done. And now I have something to look forward to, that wisdom tree. And it's the same thing in our life. I have dreams to look forward to. I know I can complete these tasks because I've been halfway already. And the first half was nothing. I just got to look at it from the standpoint of, I just got to go the rest of the half. If I can go all the way to the rest of the half, 60 minutes, and the way down will be gratitude. It'll be success. It'll be a different feeling. But listen, that way down is not easy either, right? It just feels better when you win. It feels better when you complete the task. And that's what this is about, right? You got to continue to climb. Whatever it is you're pursuing, whatever it is you want, you got to go get it. You can achieve it. It's possible. Like I'm like it was an amazing opportunity for me. And I have other things I want to check off, right? But that was something I didn't even realize I wanted to check off. And now it's something that I want to complete. I could easily, the heights or something, like the distance is a lot. But like when you're around like minded people, when you're around people that push you, right? It fuels you. And you have to dig deep and keep going. But you also have to realize when you're at a point where let me take a break, right? Let me turn around and let me formulate a better plan so I can succeed. Because I don't want to get to 75% and then turn around, right? Because all it is now you're wasting time. I learned from this. The next time I have to finish. It's the next time I have, and you just keep chopping at it. You keep chopping at it until you obtain your goal. And but again, it goes back to the scripture of like when Peter got off the boat, his biggest issue is he looked back, he looked down. He took his eyes off the goal. He took his eyes off why he got off the boat. He got off the boat to go with Jesus. And it's the same thing with me. I took my eyes off what I was doing. I was climbing. I took my eyes off the climb to look back, to look down, and you see what fear is. You see what doubt is. Like that wasn't just the ground. Like I wasn't gonna fall, right? Like I control that. I control my balance. I control where my feet are. I can reach up. I can grab stuff. So I'm not gonna fall. That was just fear and doubt. That's what it was. When I looked down, that's all I saw. And that's what my mind registered. And then once my mind registered that, your body is going to do whatever your mind says. No matter whatever you think, it's what you become. And so it's imperative. Like when you're on these climbs, because it's a never ending climb. Whenever you get to the top of one mountain is the bottom of another. And you just keep pursuing it. Like again, it's neither hard or easy, right? It's tough. It is. It's tough, but it's achievable. And that's how you got to look at it. Because someone else did it already. Just like the 4-minute mile. Someone has already done it. So if someone else has done it, I can do it. I can do all things through Christ that strengthened me. And we have to believe that. We have to understand that. We have to know that. Like I'm excited about it. Like I'm excited about this next climb. I'm going to update y'all on this next climb. But again, in your lives, you have to keep climbing. You have to keep pursuing whatever it is you want. Whatever it is you want, you can have it. There's nothing that you can't have. He says, seek and you shall find. Ask and you shall receive. Knocking the door shall be open to you. Nothing about what he says is no, you can't have it. Maybe not yet, but it's never not, you can't get that. It's impossible. There's no such thing. There's no such word as impossible. I don't even know why we have that in the dictionary. It doesn't exist. But if you put it in your mind, the doubt will be there. You will find ways not to do things. That's how creative your mind is. Think about that. Once you begin to doubt, you find ways not to do things. You find ways not to complete things. You got to flip that and find ways to finish. I'm going to finish. I'm going to climb. I'm going to get to that wisdom tree. And everyone will know it because it's something that's important to me now. And it's the same thing in my goals and my dreams. In the last 45 days, I've accomplished a lot. Started in this field, but I'm nowhere near complete. It's the climb, and you have to embrace it. I love y'all. Like I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm excited for you all. Keep climbing. Continue to climb. Don't quit. Take a break if you have to. Go back to the bottom if you have to. Restart. Formulate a better plan, but continue to climb. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed.